Today, Todd Blanche is expected to submit written answers to questions from the Senate Judiciary Committee as he navigates a narrow path to becoming the next Attorney General. Blanche can't afford to lose a single Republican when the committee votes on July 30th. If he advances, the wider Senate would take up his nomination the week of August 3rd. But as Blanche hopes for a promotion, his record on the Epstein files fallout looms large. Survivors of Epstein's abuse slamming a face-to-face meeting they had with him last week.
It wasn't substantive. It was not productive. It very much felt like we were just taking the box off of the meeting.
I didn't expect to walk out of the meeting feeling the way that we feel right now. It was demoralizing, to say the very least.
His attempt at empathy and compassion really came off as patronizing and condescending. It was very clear he was taking the meeting because he wants this promotion.
One of those women, the first you saw in that montage, Danny Bensky, joins me now. Hey, Danny, thanks so much for being with us. You know, I don't think we've heard from a single survivor who thought that meeting went well. What was it that happened in that meeting? Was it Blanche's tone? Was it what he said? Was it how he responded to all of you?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for having me, Alicia. It was basically a masterclass in the art of deflection and gaslighting. I mean, you heard it so many times from so many of us at this point, from Liz and from Jess Michaels. He was just so dismissive. And he really treated survivors as if we were the thorn in his side versus victims of crimes that have spanned 5 administration decades and that were re-victimized by this Department of Justice.
This meeting happened after Republican Senator Thom Tillis made it a condition of getting to yes on Blanche, that this meeting happened. And after the meeting, Tillis posted, quote, "I commend Todd Blanche for doing what all his predecessors over the last 2 decades never did, meet with the victims of Jeffrey Epstein's horrific crimes. I appreciate his willingness to directly engage and listen to them." I want to know, Danny, what your message is specifically to Senator Tillis about whether or not the criteria for his supporting Blanche was in fact met.
Yeah, I think that I was hoping that when Thom Tillis made that sort of clause, that he was really hoping that we would have meaningful conversations with Todd Blanche, right? I don't think that anybody wanted to just give this tick the box off ultimatum, or at least I'm hoping that that wasn't the case. So I'm really hoping that Senator Tillis does take some time to talk to the survivors, because I think he was hoping for more because Todd Blanche was so noncommittal. You know, we were asking for anything just to show a bit of good faith, because we've been re-victimized by this DOJ nonstop. And so, we really wanted something where we could walk out of there and say, okay, we have something that we can hold them to and they will follow through on, whether that's investigative leads or whether that's, we just started pushing out the REDACT Act, and the REDACT Act would allow us to pursue a private right of action. And just to have some backing in any of those things from Todd Blanche would have really been important. And instead we saw nothing. So I hope that Thom Tillis will take time to meet with survivors. And I urge him to vote no, the same as John Cornyn. And we're really hoping that Cornyn sees this and says it wasn't a meaningful conversation. He needs to do better.
Here's what Blanche told the Associated Press about your meeting. "It wasn't all cordial because there's something that they want I don't think I can give them, which is some form of justice. And I want to be able to give justice in the form of prosecutions, and maybe we can do a prosecution at some point. I don't know." Do you buy that, Danny?
No, and in fact, I think it's just another way of saying that they came in here asking for things that I can't give them. I don't know what he's pointing to. I think he's pointing to monetary gain. We were asking for investigations first and foremost. We went in there and said, please, there are so many people and perpetrators who have been redacted in the files while all of our information has been outed. Please pursue any investigation. And we even said, Chairman James Comer just came to you with 2 referrals. Can you please pursue one of them at least? And he couldn't. So the statement is, once again, very misleading.
Danny Bensky, I am grateful to you that you continue to show up even on the weeks when it is very hard. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.